Reese has made the damn news again. And I'm telling you right now, Angel Reese had figured out a way to epically troll the WNBA and all of her haters. And I have to say, she's genius for it. She is. She know everybody don't like her. And she say little things to make sure she try to stay relevant, because we know it's slowly diminished, and Angel Reese will realize, damn, my hype going down. Let me do some foolish stuff or say something.
The night was supposed to be about a historic WNBA record. Angel Reese had just done something incredibly rare. She grabbed 26 rebounds in a single game, breaking the WNBA record of 24 that had stood since 2003. That should have been the entire headline. Instead, one sentence changed the conversation. When a reporter jokingly brought up NBA records, Reese fired back with a line that instantly sent basketball social media into overdrive. "I be setting NBA records, too." And suddenly, the story was no longer just about 26 rebounds. It was about confidence. It was about Caitlin Clark. It was about the NBA. And, most importantly, it was about whether Angel Reese had just talked herself into a comparison she could not possibly win. But there is a lot more to this story than one viral quote. Because underneath the controversy is a fascinating question.
Patriarch of rebounds was very angry last night, and who can blame her? It was another unbelievably bad performance from Angel Reese. Where are all those lonely men who were bombarding me last week on Twitter? Where are all those desperate wankers who were trying to convince me that Angel Reese descended from the heavens? Hey, asshole, did you see Angel Reese tonight? Wowzer! She's the best player in the league! My queen is better than your...
Why does one of the best rebounders in basketball keep finding herself at the center of conversations about everything except the thing she is actually elite at? Let's break it down. First, give Angel Reese credit. Because the numbers are real. Against the Los Angeles Sparks, Reese pulled down 26 rebounds. 18 came on the defensive end. 8 came on offense. And that performance broke a WNBA single-game record that had stood for more than 2 decades. She also moved past A'ja Wilson's single-season rebounding mark, reaching 458 rebounds with games still remaining. That is not a fake achievement. It is not something critics can simply dismiss. Rebounding has been Reese's calling card since she entered the league. Even when her offensive game struggles, she has consistently shown an ability to attack the glass, position herself, anticipate where the ball is going, and create second opportunities for her team. So, on paper, this should have been a perfect night for Reese. Historic record. Huge statistical performance. Another entry in the WNBA record book. But then came the interview. The reporter congratulated Reese and jokingly referenced an NBA record. And Reese immediately answered, "No, I don't, 'cause I be setting NBA records, too." That was it. One sentence. But the internet did what the internet always does. It grabbed the quote, clipped it, reposted it, debated it, mocked it, defended it, and turned it into the biggest talking point surrounding the game. And now we have to separate two completely different things. The first is the accomplishment. The second is the claim. Reese absolutely set a WNBA record. But saying she is setting NBA records is a much more complicated statement. The NBA and WNBA have separate record books, separate histories, separate seasons, separate players. And the NBA has produced some of the greatest rebounders the sport has ever seen. Wilt Chamberlain once grabbed 55 rebounds in a single NBA game. Dennis Rodman built an entire Hall of Fame career around rebounding against some of the biggest and strongest athletes in basketball history. So when you say NBA records, people are naturally going to take that literally. And that is where the controversy begins. There is, however, an important technical detail that some people online pointed out. If you combine NBA and WNBA statistical histories, Reese does rank extremely high in several rebounding-related categories. Her double-double production is impressive. Her rebounding rate is historically strong. And her career defensive rebounding average is notable even when compared with NBA players. So the comment did not come completely out of nowhere. But there is still a massive difference between being statistically comparable across combined records and literally holding an NBA record. That distinction is what made the quote so easy to attack. And then the game itself provided another layer to the story. Because while Reese was dominating the glass, her offensive performance was far less impressive. She scored just 11 points. She shot 4-4-4 from the field, but she also committed 3 turnovers. And perhaps most importantly, Cameron Brink blocked her 5 times. 5. That made the timing of the NBA comment even more awkward. Because while Reese was talking about setting records, clips from the same game were showing Brink repeatedly stopping her at the rim. One sequence became especially popular online. Reese attacked the paint. Brink stayed with her. The shot was blocked. Reese recovered the ball and tried again. Brink blocked her again. 2 possessions. 2 denials. And suddenly, social media had 2 completely different Angel Reese stories competing for attention. On one side, 26 rebounds. WNBA history. On the other, 5 blocks. Offensive struggles. And then there was the NBA comment sitting right in the middle. That combination was almost guaranteed to go viral. But this is not the first time Reese has found herself in this kind of situation. Her willingness to embrace controversy has been part of her public image for years. During her college career at LSU, Reese was never afraid to speak with confidence. When asked who the best player in the country was, she essentially pointed the finger at herself. She said she believed she was the best player in the country. That kind of confidence can be powerful. Athletes at the highest level need it. But there is a difference between confidence and making a claim that invites everyone to immediately compare your words with the tape. And Reese has repeatedly walked that line. Her most famous comments came after the 2023 national championship period, when women's basketball was exploding in popularity. Reese argued that the growth of women's basketball could not be credited to one player. She wanted people to recognize her role as well. And honestly, that argument is not unreasonable. Women's basketball has many stars. Many players have contributed to its growth. Reese herself became one of the sport's biggest personalities. But the timing made the statement controversial because Caitlin Clark was simultaneously becoming one of the biggest attractions the sport had ever seen. That comparison followed both players into the WNBA. And it never really stopped. Clark and Reese entered the professional league with completely different games and completely different public images. Clark became associated with scoring, passing, deep shooting, playmaking, and spectacular offensive numbers. Reese became associated with physicality, rebounding, toughness, and relentless work around the basket. Both became stars. But the public conversation often turned their success into a competition. Who is better? Who matters more? Who changed women's basketball? And every time one player says something bold, the other name gets dragged into the conversation. That is exactly what happened again. Because Clark has generally taken a very different approach to the noise. After a game against Reese's Atlanta Dream, Clark was asked about all the surrounding conversation. Her response was remarkably simple. She basically suggested that people calm down. The sky was not falling. She acknowledged that discussion would always exist, but she did not seem interested in feeding the controversy. And that difference in communication style is important. Reese often embraces the villain role. She has openly said that she is willing to be the bad guy if it helps bring attention to women's basketball. She has argued that criticism is part of the price of growing the sport. In her mind, even negative attention can be valuable. And there is some truth to that. Controversy gets clicks. Rivalries get ratings. Strong personalities create storylines. The problem is that once you become comfortable playing the villain, you cannot always control how people interpret your actions. A confident statement can become arrogance. A joke can become a headline. A record-breaking performance can become an argument about another league. And that may be the biggest lesson from this entire situation. Reese did not need the NBA comparison. Her record was already impressive. 26 rebounds was enough. 458 rebounds for the season was enough. Breaking a record that had stood since 2003 was enough. She had already created history. The irony is that the more she tried to make the moment bigger, the more attention shifted away from the accomplishment itself. Instead of everyone talking about one of the greatest rebounding performances in WNBA history, everyone was debating whether Angel Reese really thought she was setting NBA records. That is a completely different conversation. And there is another reason the moment hit so hard. It fits a larger pattern. Whenever Reese has a major moment, there often seems to be a bigger statement attached. During college, she was willing to call herself the best player in the country. During her rookie era, she pushed back against the idea that one player was responsible for the rise of women's basketball. Now, after setting a WNBA rebounding record, she is talking about NBA records. Individually, each statement can be defended. Together, they create a consistent image. An athlete who desperately wants people to know how good she believes she is. And that can be both a strength and a weakness. Because the best athletes in the world do not always need to tell you they are great. Eventually, the numbers make the argument for them. That is where Caitlin Clark enters the story again. Whether people love her, criticize her, or simply watch her because she is entertaining, Clark has created a reputation for letting her production speak. She has climbed statistical leaderboards. She has produced huge scoring and assist numbers. She has drawn enormous attention to WNBA games. And she rarely needs to remind people that she is doing it. That creates a fascinating contrast between the two stars. Reese is loud. Clark is quieter. Reese is comfortable embracing controversy. Clark often appears more interested in moving past it. Reese tells you she wants to be remembered. Clark keeps adding accomplishments that make it increasingly difficult to forget her. Neither approach is automatically right or wrong. And Reese deserves credit for understanding something many athletes never figure out. Attention is power. She knows people are watching. She knows people are talking. And she knows that every controversial quote can keep her name in the conversation. But there is a danger. If you constantly make the conversation bigger than your performance, eventually people start judging the words more than the game. And that may be what happened here. The most impressive thing Angel Reese did that night was not saying she sets NBA records. It was grabbing 26 rebounds. That is the story that should have survived. That is the achievement that belongs in the history books. The NBA comparison was unnecessary. And the 5 blocks from Cameron Brink certainly did not help the timing. Still, it would be unfair to reduce Reese to one quote. She is a legitimate professional basketball star. She is one of the most recognizable players in the WNBA. She has already broken major records. And she has played a meaningful role in keeping women's basketball in the spotlight. The question is not whether Angel Reese is talented. She clearly is. The real question is what happens when that talent becomes mature enough that she no longer needs to convince anyone. Because imagine what happens if Reese takes that same confidence and turns it completely toward her game. No comparisons. No unnecessary headlines. No arguments about who gets credit. Just rebounds. Defense. Efficiency. Wins. And records. Then the next time someone asks whether she is one of the greatest rebounders in basketball, the answer would not need to come from Angel Reese herself. The numbers would answer it. And maybe that is the most interesting part of this entire story. Angel Reese already had the record. She already had the spotlight. She already had the attention. All she had to do was let the moment speak for itself. Instead, she gave the internet something else to talk about. And now the question is, was that a mistake? Or was getting everyone to talk about Angel Reese exactly what she wanted? Let me know what you think. Was Reese simply having fun with the NBA comparison? Or did she take her confidence a little too far? Because one thing is certain. The rivalry, the records, and the debate around Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are nowhere near finished. And the next chapter could be even louder.